Okay, so here's some footage of the range test that I did. I brought about 500 rounds of ammunition with me. I brought 100 rounds of Winchester White Box, 115 grain from Walmart. I brought 100 rounds of American Eagle, 124 grain. And I also brought 50 rounds of Winchester Rangers, plus P rounds, 124 grains. This part I'm actually using a 30 round magazine, fully loaded, and happy to say that the first 200 rounds functioned great. There were no issues, no jams. I was just trying to get used to the firearm, and like I said, it performed excellent. Real smooth, nothing went wrong with it. This part, I'm using the defensive ammo, which is the Winchester Rangers. That also functioned flawlessly. It fed everything. There were no jams, no failure to feeds, no failure to fire, no failure to eject. Magazine change worked great. So with the factory ammo, it performed great. Now, having said that, the next part that you'll see here is my reloads. It's 124 grain, 9mm, with using tight group powder, and as you'll see right about here is my first jam. It failed to eject and caused a double feed, so I had to clear that. Now, I tend to load light, so if you know anything about power factors, my average power factor is 127. So it's
Okay,
pretty
so with
light.
that short range test, 500 rounds, I found out that the fourth generation Glock with that new recoil system does great with full factory loads. Defense loads works perfect. It did not like my reloads. All in all, out of 200 rounds, I got maybe about 4 jams. So suffice it to say, it didn't like my loads. Um, my power factor that I got tested the last match I was at was 127. To give you a point of reference, Winchester White Box 150 grain, 15 grain that you can get at Walmart is averaged about maybe 133 to 135 power factor. So, I mean, my loads are pretty light. It does function perfect with my Glock 34, but it didn't do so well with my Glock 17, which isn't too bad because all I have to do is just up the power factor a bit and test it out that way. Now, my initial opinion on the fourth generation, I'll give you my likes and my dislikes. I like the shorter grip from the front to the back. It's shortened from the bottom all the way to the top. Helps me grip the gun easier with the shorter grip. Basically, it's just an SF model, like I said before. I like that the magazines are compatible. I got a bunch of the old magazines, so it works perfect with the new fourth generation frames. I like the magazine release, that it's extended more. With the extended magazine of the old generation frames, it sticks up, so I kind of have to still reach up and push it through. Whereas the fourth generation, it's flat and extended more into the frame, so I can push that in more. It's easier to, I don't have to adjust my grip as much. I like that some of the internal parts are still the same, so if anything breaks in this, I can always grab it from this and switch it out. I do like the recoil system for full power load ammunition. I noticed it more on the Glock 22 4th generation than the 9mm. If the recoil feels sharp, like a sharp snap, then with the new recoil system, it pretty much feels like a dull snap, if that makes any sense. It's more of a push than a snap. The snap is still there, but you can tell the difference with it. The muzzle flip is a little bit reduced, so that's just how I felt with it. It might be different for you. So that's some of the stuff that I like. What I don't like is I wish they got rid of the Glock hump. If they just flattened it all the way, and if you want that hump back, then you can add another strap to bring that back. That would have been nice, but I wish they really flattened it out. And also the finger grooves. If they just started with a smooth grip at first, then maybe put an add-on strap if you want with the finger grooves. That also would have been an extra bonus for that. I also don't like that you lose the modularity of the previous generations, that you don't get with the 4th generation. With the previous generations, you can get a generation 3, 2, or 1, and you can swap out the frames between each generation. You can change the slides. There's not much that's made specifically for the 4th generation yet, but you can't switch, say, like a 4th generation slide to a 3rd generation frame, or vice versa. So that's the one thing bad about going from a 4th generation to a 3rd generation. I do like that all the holsters that I had still work. You got the Uncle Mike's. You got an in-waistband holster. That works. My Blade Tex. This is actually for my 34, but it still works for the 17. An old G Cold holster. So that still works for that. Aside from that, I think if you had a previous 3rd generation Glock, you may or you may not like the new 4th generation. If you're new to Glocks, you might want to try out the new ones first. See if you like the grip. It does make a difference with the short grip from the front to the back, but it's all up to you. What I can tell you is just go out and try it and see if you like it. Let me leave you with one last thing. Okay, 4th generation frame, Glock 34, 3rd generation, Glock 34 slide, 4th generation frame. Now you'll notice the dust cover has some space between the slide and the dust cover, but it does go on, does function. I haven't shot it yet. Don't really know if I am going to shoot it, but yeah, a Glock 34 slide can go on a 4th generation frame. Maybe one of these days I'll test it out and put it on video. But that's it. Thanks for watching all of the videos, and hope you enjoy them.